Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Javier Cole, who's the president of Global Business Development for Apple Leisure Group. Now, earlier this week, Apple Leisure Group, with its AM Resorts unit, just announced really its development, the development hotels that they've had over the past year, which actually is pretty astounding of how many hotels are now in the pipeline and more to come, because we're going to see a lot more resorts. Maybe it's not as much as it would have been with COVID-19, but we're going to talk to Javier about that, and we're going to find out all about the expansion of the resort product for Apple Leisure Group and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Javier, first of all, how are you and where are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you, Jim, for having me. I'm fine, working hard, trying to get something good out of all this situation. And I'm based in Newton Square, Pennsylvania, close to Philly.
That's great. No, I know that's where Apple Leisure Group and all of your units are. And although, as we were talking earlier, you usually are on the road going to visit all these resorts all over the world. And sometimes we've had to pause on that one. But as I mentioned, that Apple Leisure Group just reported that they had 59 new deals to develop hotels and resorts to add to its portfolio under the AM Resorts subsidiary. How did you do that in a year kind of plagued by COVID-19? And what could have you done if there wasn't the pandemic?
Well, it was definitely was not a normal year for development. We were able to take advantage of this situation. And the reality is that after the Great Depression, we saw a boom of new construction and a boom in the business, and there was no opportunities or many opportunities for growth. So everybody was growing like crazy, everybody was doing good, and sometimes it's very difficult to rebrand properties when that happens. So after now with the COVID, I mean, a lot of owners decided to recycle their capital, and a lot of owners got scared about the situation. So we start seeing opportunities, both rebranding, new construction, changing brands. And we were fortunate enough to be able to close some of these transactions, one very large in Europe, actually. And the fact that in Europe, we were very close with institutional investors.
Right.
They have the capital to invest and their opportunistic capital. We were able to close that transaction. So that's the short answer to this explosive growth that we're going to have, especially in 2021, which is when the majority of these hotels are going to open.
Now, do you think you would have gotten even more growth if it hadn't been for COVID, or was this basically an opportunity that a lot of the owners took to, as you said, switch their brands or switch their management companies, and you were just there to be able to do that?
No, definitely not. I mean, we usually grow at a pace of 10 hotels per year. So,
wow. Okay.
But in this case, we signed more than 40 deals in 2020, which is 4 times what we usually do.
Amazing.
So definitely not. I don't think without COVID, we would be in the situation we are today. So some silver lining out of all.
Yeah, for you. That's a big silver lining. I got to tell you, that's one of some of the best news I've heard in this sense. Now, what do you think it is about your business model that appeals to these owners and investors? What's kind of your secret sauce and your points of differentiation that attracted these people to you?
Well, I would say that we're a little different from the other companies. One obvious one is that as a group, we own distribution. That's how the company started, as a distribution company, right? With Apple Vacations, we became the largest in the United States, the Caribbean, and Mexico very soon, and we've been the largest for the last 50 years, right? We also acquired several other businesses like Chic Caribbean and Fonjet.
Sure.
So the fact that we have that it makes us different, right? It's a huge entry barrier for our competitors because, as you know, I mean, the tour operator business is tricky. I mean, the margins are very slim. Anything can happen, and you lose money. So not everybody wants to get into that business, but especially to support a management company. But we started like that.
Sure.
So the fact that we started like that, and we are the largest in the United States, is what makes us different. And it is what really works for us, almost as an insurance of profitability and insurance of occupancy in our branded hotels. So that I would say is the main difference.
Okay.
However, our focus is always on our stakeholders, and stakeholders meaning our owners, our hotel owners, our travel agents that work with us, and our customers. So our focus is not our brands. And as you know, most of our competitors, especially the ones in their public, the brand is the most important thing, right? Attributes, brands. So I would say that we are different in that. So by supporting our stakeholders, our brands are becoming more popular, are becoming more profitable as well. But as a consequence of focusing on our stakeholders, those two are the main difference versus other companies, I would say.
Now, you also have a lot of brands under the AM Resorts portfolio. What are proving to be the most popular brands in this expansion? I know it seemed to be a lot of Secrets and a lot of Dreams, I think. What have been sort of the brands that they're turning to?
Well, our brands are, when we designed our brand structure and architecture was based on, first of all, the market, right? So most of the market is in between 5-star and 4-star, and that's how we started. We started with 4-star, actually, with Sunscape. Very quick, we moved to 5-star. Mm-hmm. And we have, on that tier, we have adults only and family brands. So Secrets and Breathless are adults only, and Dreams and Now are family oriented. Mm-hmm. And finally, we got to the 6-brand tier with our Zoetree brand. So basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to cover the spectrum of our customers by having those 3 levels, those 3 tiers of brands. But of course, the ones that they've been around for a longer time are the most well-known and probably the most popular ones, like Secrets and Dreams, as you mentioned, right? But still, the other ones are catching up very quick. And the reason why we started similar brands in similar tiers and concepts, it was just because of the growth. Right. Sure. So in any case, now we are rethinking our brand architecture in order to concentrate more resources in some of these brands. So very soon we will probably be announcing all those changes. But right now, this is what we have. We have 8 brands. There's 2 4-star, 1 Sunscape, which is the original one, and then we acquired Alua in Europe. Okay. When we did that acquisition of the Alua business, of the Alua management company in Europe. So
so you're on track right now to have about 100 properties worldwide at the end of 2021, right?
That is right.
Yeah. So, and most of them will be Secrets and Dreams at this point, would you say?
Actually not. That explosive growth, a high percentage of that happened in Europe, right? Okay. And the most prominent brand in Europe for us is Alua, which is a 4-star brand, and it's consistent with the type of properties that you find in Europe, right? Most of the properties, especially leisure properties in Europe, are 4-star, right? Okay. So that is why we have a higher percentage of properties, of Alua properties in Europe, although we are definitely growing with Secrets and Dreams and the other brands, both in America and Europe. Most of that, the highest percentage is Alua. In the Americas, we do have more Secrets and more Dreams. Right. There's more hotels built from the scratch So we have more flexibility in terms of going to a higher tier than in Europe.
Yeah, now I know a lot of U.S. travel advisors probably aren't as familiar with the Alua brand because it is in Europe. And is that where most of your expansion in Europe is going? Is with the Alua brand, or are they also looking at your other brands like Secrets and Dreams?
Definitely. I mean, we are there. If they have the opportunity of converting their properties into a Secrets or Dreams, definitely they request for those brands. But the limitation is the physical aspect of the resort. I mean, the size of the rooms, the location, all that. Sometimes, even if you want to, even if you have the money to invest, even if you do all the capex necessary, the property is not suited for those brands.
Right.
So as I said, most of the properties are more like on the 4-star category based on the size of the rooms, number of restaurants, all that. So, but when they have the opportunity, definitely they take advantage. And actually, we're going to open our first Soetri, which is what we call 6-star brand, if you will, in Mallorca next year. Okay. So again, it's just a matter of the asset, right? What is the asset fit for? And we have a lot of Aluas, yes, but we are also going to open some Dreams, some Secrets, and some Soetris in Europe. Fewer number, but some.
Yeah, because I think most U.S. travel advisors here are very familiar with your Mexico and Caribbean properties, and they know those brands. And now you're going to have this whole growth in Europe, in mostly, as you said, in Spain and Greece, which I found interesting. And I guess they'll have the opportunity to sell those resorts as well.
Absolutely, and that was the idea. I mean, the growth in Europe has been unbelievable. I mean, 2 years ago, we acquired Alua Resorts, and it was a 14 resorts company with the brand, with the Alua brand. That was the only brand. Today, signed, we have 51 resorts 2 years later. So we went from basically, I mean, we tripled the size of the company in 2 years, which is absolutely crazy. So for that expansion, now we're looking at all the destinations and the geographies. And in Europe, I mean, even though the main destination in Europe, the south of Europe is Spain, right? We still see opportunities in Greece, in Portugal, and other places. I mean, we have our first resource in Greece, but we're looking at other opportunities in Greece. We're looking at our new opportunities in Portugal and even in Italy. So at the end of the day, it's about growth, right? We don't want to be totally concentrated in Spain. It will be proportional to the amount of tourists and passengers to each destination. Spain will always be the largest one for sure, but we're going to start growing other places as well.
Well, and obviously you got a lot of competitors in Spain. That's kind of the heartland for a lot of companies that are in the all-inclusive market. We know them all. But in general, is there a great appeal for the all-inclusive concept in Europe? I mean, we all think, oh yeah, it's all here in Caribbean and Mexico, but actually all-inclusive started in Europe, and now you're growing this concept again with your brands.
Well, interesting, when I was out of college, one of my first jobs was the conversion of a resort in Alcudia in Mallorca, north of Mallorca, into all-inclusive. Which by then I didn't know anything about all-inclusive.
Right.
So I had to learn a lot about the concept, and of course the reference was Club Med, right, back then.
Of course, yeah, they were the originators, without the drinks though, until they got the beads, right?
That is right. So I learned a lot about the concept, and we finally converted those resorts into all-inclusive. And the question was, is it going to work, right? Well, we were able to pre-sell that resort 3 years in advance to tour operators. We were amazed of the success of the all-inclusive concept. So the thing is, sometimes people think because there's a destination where you can rent a car and visit the destination and go around, uh, that disregards the all-inclusive as an option, and that's not true. All-inclusive is about convenience, right? And
Sure.
you want to have a convenient vacation regardless if you want to get out of the resort from time to time or not. That is not the all-inclusive is not chosen by the customers just because they don't want to get out of the resort. That's a misconception that everybody has. So it was very successful, and now, of course, there are places that are more suited for all-inclusive than others. Right? If we have a hotel that is in the city, like we have hotels in Palma, in the Mallorca, of course, we have to manage different programs. We offer the all-inclusive, but we also offer bed and breakfast and the EP concepts, etc. If we have a resort that is more isolated, therefore, we can offer the all-inclusive and we can offer the all-inclusive as a program. It's going to be more. We're going to sell more. You're going to be more successful because of that isolation. So, but in any case, we're trying to offer all these programs in every hotel we have. It's just that they're more successful in some hotels versus the other ones based on the location of those hotels. But it's working really well. We're pushing it. We're making sure that we provide value to those customers and flexibility.
No, absolutely. And but now you talk a lot about expansion in Europe, and you're growing there in Spain, Portugal, Greece, but you haven't lost focus in Mexico and Caribbean, and elsewhere in Latin America. I know. So a lot of this new growth is in that region, in those regions, right?
That is right. I mean, we are still that's our main destination, our most profitable destination geography. Let's put it that way. And the thing is, now we have to work harder for those projects,
right?
Especially because of restrictions in financing, right? Any project we do, even if it's new construction or rebranding, it needs finance, right? To finance the capex or to finance the construction. And the banks are holding off a little bit on that right now. We work with mostly local banks.
Okay.
There's not a lot of international financing in Mexico and the Caribbean. And so far, we have never had a problem financing a project.
Right.
They're always available. Sometimes if they need, they're gonna create a pool of banks when the amount is high enough. But we have had that option of financing our project since the beginning of the company.
Okay.
Now this is the first time when we see some restrictions, when we see the banks restructuring the actual loans and holding off on new loans. So that is the only thing that may prevent a quick recovery in terms of development in Mexico and the Caribbean. But as soon as the banks get the confidence that the market is back, then the COVID is solved, if you can call it that, like that. I'm convinced that they will come back to the table, because the tourism is one of the main industries in every of these countries, and if they don't finance these type of projects, they don't have a lot of options to finance any other project. But this is a situation that is happening now, and we have to, and we're trying to address it for every project we have.
Well, it seems like where the banks may be taking a pause and taking a look at these things, the owners of these resorts and they seem to sort of have faith in the market because they're cutting these deals with you. So it looks like, would you say that does the fact that you have such strong growth both last year and coming up this year indicate a strong faith by those that the travel business will come back strong?
Well, I think it ties with one of the first comments that I made, which is the distribution. If they trust that the business will come back, that this industry will come back, and everybody trusts that, right? The thing is, if I do a deal today, my first deals should be with someone that is safer, right, versus other options. And as I mentioned, the fact that we have, before pre-pandemic, we have like 3.5 million passengers traveling to Mexico and Dominican Republic, and the fact that no other management company has that is giving them the confidence that we can that we can ramp up this resource much quicker than any other company. And again, they are confident that the business will come back, but they're even more confident that we will do it faster than our competitors. And I would say that is the main reason why we were able to close all these deals in 2020.
No, absolutely. That's understandable. And I got to tell you, I mean, I started going down to Mexico back in the early 90s, and it might have been my first experience down there, and there was really nothing on the Riviera Maya back then. And now we look at it, and it's just amazing, the growth there, and it keeps on happening. And every time I turn around down there, there's a new resort being opened, and a lot of times it's one of yours. So it's that's the kind of thing, the growth that is happening right now. Now, what do you say? What do you tell travel advisors about how now they have a lot more options, and you're going to be going into Europe, and you're going to be in Spain, Portugal, Greece. You're going to have more in Mexico, more in Caribbean. They have more to sell, as we said earlier. I mean, what would you tell them how to do this at this point?
Well, they're the same travel agents and the same customers that they've been requesting, and they've been asking us for new destinations. When are you going to open a Dreams here? When are you going to open a Secrets there? And sometimes it's not about what we want, it's about the opportunities, right? So the moment we start opening these new markets with our brands, it's unbelievable how favorable is the reaction to this new resource and these new geographies, because they already have also customers asking them, is there a Dreams here or a Secrets there? So I don't think it's going to be hard for them, because they already had that demand of their own customers. So the fact that also that we keep upgrading our hotels, upgrading meaning making sure that they're fresh, making sure that they're upgraded, making sure that they're up to the speed with the trends and everything. And the fact that we keep innovating new concepts, new restaurants, etc., I think that's what is keeping us as leaders on the luxury all-inclusive. This is something that we have in our DNA. This is something that we've been doing since day one. So it's again, I think it's just a natural demand from the existing customers and from our travel agents, the one that we've been working with for a long time. So hopefully they won't have a hard time selling all these new geographies.
Well, they certainly are going to be familiar with the brands, although I guess they're going to have to learn about your European brand, the one that you're expanding with. Now, is there anything else you want to tell our 75,000 travel advisors out there about Apple Leisure Group and the resort development plans around the world?
Well, I just wanted to reiterate that we try to be the best leisure company, a vertically integrated leisure company to our stakeholders. And as I said, we always think about the travel agents. We always think about the owners, the hotel owners that we work with. And of course, we always think about our customers. So that's our focus. And I want them to know that we're going to keep focusing on them. It's not about brands, it's about them. And of course, as a consequence, our brands will be stronger eventually. But our focus will be always on them, and we'll keep working on them and trying to adapt our product and our growth to their needs. So that's something that is very important for us.
Well, with 100 properties by the end of this year, you're going to have an extensive inventory, and again, more products for all of you out there to sell under the M Resorts various brands, and Europe too now. That's even more so. And again, but again, you haven't let go of your your Mexico and Caribbean focus. Every time I turn around, in fact, I see you're opening up new ones in Cancun, which I said, how can you keep opening up resorts in Cancun? There's so many out there. But you do have beautiful properties. I've stayed at a number of them over the years, and really you do a great job, and it's a tribute to what you do. And as you said, the fact that you have a distribution system with all of your Apple Leisure Group vacations, and can get there, and that's a group that many travel advisors have been using through one of its brands for a long time. So congratulations on a great year, I guess. Hard to say for 2020 for that, and hopefully this year as well. It looks strong, but again, we're looking forward to much more from Apple Leisure Group in the future. Thanks again for taking the time to be with us.
No, thank you very much, James. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for having me.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.